We're going to be exploring some of the lore of my map today, or at least just one of the cities. So here's what we got. So I think I might have done a video about this a very long time ago when I was young, and so I wasn't really knowing what I was doing. So here's Atlanta. So it's not the greatest city. If you can see over there, you can see in the distance and stuff, and that's part of the greater Richmond area, but they're still their own little villages, technically. But here's Georgia. It's technically its own state. So we're going to tell you the overview. Okay. So, I'm gonna have to do a complete, lore of the CFR eventually one day. But you got this little area right where I'm in. So you see this wooded section down here in the corner. This is Georgia on my map. So my map states are based off real states or different countries, regions, or even made up stuff. So what happened is this region was originally underpopulated, but the players who lived here did have their little tribes, which did make up my map. Now they didn't become anything big. They were always considered one of the one of the non-affiliated ones. Or if they were affiliated, they were commonly affiliated with me. Which, yeah. Eventually they got conquered. And so this area, we looked to this region for a new source of woods, considering there used to be even more forests if you take away the towns. Now what happened is we came here and cut down the forests. And we built these towns, and as you can see, a lot of it's made out of wood. The more, non-wood is more modern stuff. So this became the capital of Georgia on my map, as it was, though I don't think it's the first city. There's one over there, it's Savannah. See that space tower? So that's how it got there, okay? So as time became, the city got pretty big. Has its own history. Let me just check this chest for anything. Oh man, so there's some money in here. Just feel free to look around. So, crap, let me think. While I'm walking around thinking about it. So, Georgia's pretty, it's not necessarily the most quiet place on this map. It gets a lot of work done. It gets a lot of players in the region, since it's one of the main new, population zones, since we're, just adding players to that region. So, just feel free to look while I'm thinking about lore and what to tell you guys. So, Georgia wasn't always like that. Originally, it had been pretty, stale, stagnation. The first major influx of people, other than when it first got built, this capital, Atlanta, was when we built this railway. It's pretty terribly done. It connects all the way to Alabama on this map, we should do another video. Here's an atomic bomb, one of the early ones. It's packed with TNT. So, yeah, we did that, right? We built that, people came here. But then it slowly died down as, we lose so many players. There's probably been 20,000 players in this map at a point. Because it's always full of players. I just turned it offline mode and my internet's off, so I won't have to deal with anything while I do this. And so, as the town started to die out, people still, there were some players. There's like Jaden, he lived here, here's his house. He still technically lives here, even though he doesn't play the game. He just exists within the universe because he puts himself in here as a political part of it that no one ever sees. Now, eventually, though, the state did get some players. So then you had, since it's the capital, it had its own chance to create currencies. This finally got put to work during the Northern Georgian Rebellion on the map. And as I showed you the bank over there that had the monies, it produced its own monies. Well, those, though, are an outdated system of money that were not produced by them. Now that quickly died down. Eventually Georgia does keep getting attacked, and so does the capital and whatnot, but it gets fixed. There's nothing really to destroy that great. Every city's great on this map or equal, but it's not like it's going to cripple me if you destroy it. So, yeah.
And more recently, Georgia has been, this city has been more of a port into the subplanet. So if you go over here, which this town over here is sort of a sub-district of this, they're so closely connected that they just can walk back and forth between each other without any real problems. So, you know, the capital Atlanta is able to get stuff from the subplanet entrance that goes into littler villages down there quite easily. Players are able to live here. Now since since you had the Ico Rebellion, which is a newer form of the war, but we've written it out, and we'll tell you about it one other day. I mean, we wrote its leaders out due to being douches. Well, Jaden had an influx of players from the Ico clan since he became monarch for a short period of time. But then it's stagnated again. But it's not going to stagnate anymore. What you have now is a large influx of players coming here to work in the subplanet. They live throughout Georgia, they're repairing, they're building new fortifications, new everything, and it's just becoming great. And what looked like a state that might have stagnated, died out, or become even part of Virginia, which is the state that I rule over there, or just due to its stagnation, is actually going to remain for quite some time. And it's looking completely towards the future, guys. This has been a video about one of the cities. You had the chance to check it out, guys. See you guys. See you next time. Be sure to like and subscribe.